Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. I'm so excited you are joining me today. I have a really fun project that I want to share with you, and you may recognize it as I've shared it every year for the last couple. I came up with a template for a calendar to create my own. I love giving this as a gift, especially at the holiday time. It's such a fun way to keep somebody thinking about you all throughout the year as they flip pages every single month on their calendar. So today I want to step through how to make a calendar using this template. I'm going to show you each of the quick steps to do it, and it is super easy and super fun. This morning, I just posted a new template for 2024. I've been getting lots of requests for it, and so it's up on the Etsy store right now. If you want to grab it, you can head over there. I tried to put the link somehow on this video. I'm not sure what it looks like from your end, but hopefully you can find it. I'll put it in the comments if it doesn't show up just right. If you are a team member of mine, if you're on the Jubilant Stampers team, you get this PDF for free. Team members always get the class PDFs and access to all my stuff for absolutely free. So watch your email. I'll be sending it after lunch with access to download the PDF so that you can make these calendars at home for your family and friends. So this is what the PDF includes. There's actually two PDFs. One of them is going to have a block font, and then the other one is going to have a script font that's like this. And so you'll have access to both. In each PDF, there are instructions with how to cut the paper, how to cut the template. There's going to be a punching template that you can cut out and use to guide you to create the holes in your calendar. There is also then 2 pages. Well, 4 pages, but 2 pages for the calendar templates. You can print those out. They're approximately 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, although depending on what you use to cut it, they may be different. So you have 2 sheets that include all 12 months. So there's 2 options, one with the month and the date, or the month and the year, and the other one with just the month at the top. That's the one that I prefer, but if you want to have the year on there, I've got that option as well. So 2 PDFs, one with the block font, one with the script font, and both have both options of the year, or the month and the year, or just the month. All right, so that's what the PDF looks like when you get it. The Etsy listing does not include any kind of physical product, so the rest of the calendar is going to be up to you, which means you can choose whatever designer paper you want to use for your calendar. And if you like the paper that I'm using, it is a brand new paper. Let me grab the package. It just was released last week. It's called Delightful Floral. Its item number is 162356. This is a 12 by 12 designer paper, and it includes 2 sheets of each of 6 different patterns. So for this calendar, I decided just to repeat the same 6 patterns. So since there are 6 sheets, there are 12 months, so 2 each of the 6 sheets will get me through the whole year. In the past, I've used the other sides and kind of mixed it up, but the other sides of this paper are sort of these solid watercolor patterns, and I just felt like I wanted a little bit more color. So of course you can mix it up and do whatever you want. You may have seen my 2023 calendar. I used the Rings of Love designer paper. And on this one, I did mix it up and use different sheets from that paper, different patterns. So each month is different. So you can mix and match your designer paper from different packages, or use all the same one to coordinate. I personally don't put anything on the back of my calendar, but I've seen people put pictures or other like quotes or something like that on the back, so that it can be double-sided, because this is the stand that I use. And I got these on Amazon. I'll add the link to the comments when we're done so that you can check it out. The best value is to get a package that has several. I think that you can get them individually or in a package of 4 or 12 or something like that. So the best value is when you buy them a lot. So if you either want to make a lot of gifts or go in with a friend to share a package of frames. These originally were an IKEA design, an IKEA frame. They stopped carrying it at IKEA, but I have found a source on Amazon that creates similar frames. They're not the ones from IKEA, but they are pretty identical. And so the frame comes like this. It has a base, And if I were looking for this on Amazon, I would search for pedestal frame or 4x6 pedestal frame. So this will fit a 4x6 photo. And it is designed with these plastic pieces. So the thought is that you put your photo in the middle, and then these are something that you would just peel. If you were using it as a frame, you would just peel that little plastic lining off. So that's just to protect it. I usually just discard these, and I just use the frame empty, and then it just kind of screws in or fits into the base. Now this does come in different colors. I prefer the white one. I think in the past I've gotten vanilla, which is just like, or off-white, just a slightly different color. Now the size of the rings that you want are 1/4 inch. These are called binder rings, and or loose leaf rings. And you can see I just get it in bulk. I literally got a box of 100, also from Amazon. But the size that you want is 1 1/4 inch. So again, go in with a friend and share a box of the loose leaf rings. You're going to need two rings for each calendar, and they will just hang. They will just hang the pages here in the opening. So I have another set here that's done. So I will just take the ring and slide it through all the pages and then onto the frame. Now I have tried with different size rings, and I just couldn't get them to sit right in the opening. So I found that the 1/4 inch, 1 1/4 inch were the best size for this project. Okay, so boom, just like that, I've got a fun little project to share. Now, when I'm giving this as a gift, I will unscrew the bottom and package it up like this, so that can go nice and flat. And this actually fits really well in a Stampin' Up! Kits collection box or a paper pumpkin box. That's about the perfect size for packaging up this project. All right, let's step through this a little bit more. So back to the template. We have, I was going to tell you, with the 12 by 12 designer paper, I cut this to the size, and that's indicated on the first page of the template. So the designer paper is going to be 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I was able to get 3 sets of 2. So three sets of 12, sorry. There are 6 patterns, and so 2 of each is 12 pages. So I was able to get 3 sets of 12 pages from 1/2 package of designer paper. So if you were using the entire package of designer paper, you would be able to make 6 calendars from 1 12 by 12 package of designer paper. Okay, great question. The template then I print on cardstock. So this is copy paper. You can see through it. This is cardstock. I just use the Stampin' Up! Basic white cardstock. And I have a laser jet printer. I do notice sometimes when I'm printing a lot, sometimes the ink will smudge or smear on the cardstock. Now, I probably printed 3 or 4 before this one and didn't have any problems with the smudging or smearing. So what I would say is to avoid printing many at the same time on the cardstock. I think it's just sort of the texture of the cardstock. Sometimes that ink can run. So I would print 1 or 2 and then give your printer a chance to cool off a little bit, and then print 1 or 2 again, so that you can avoid some of that smearing and smudging. Great question on the frames. I got my frames on Amazon, and I will add the link to the video when we're all done. Okay, so yes, I did print on cardstock. I like the way that it looks better on the designer paper and in the finished project. So I just put my white cardstock right into the printer. Okay, so I've got my pages cut again, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I want to make sure that I've got them all, these are upside down. I want to make sure I have them all right side up. And part of the template includes the cutting template. So that was page 2, the calendar page punching template. And so what I did is I punched 2 holes that were 1/2 inch from the top and 3/4 inch from the side. And so if you're making your own found template at home, then you can just cut a piece of paper, copy paper, scrap paper, whatever, and you can just use your ruler and measure 1/2 inch down, 3/4 of an inch over, and then that cross point is where you want to punch your holes. So I find it's easier just to cut out the template and punch the holes, and so then I can take a hole punch such as my crocodile. You guys still have a crocodile? This crocodile has 2 punches, a smaller one and a larger one, and it will punch through all of these pages at the same time. So I'm just going to hold up my template and I'm just going to put it right in and punch my hole. Look at that. Oh my gosh, so easy, like butter. And then I'm going to take and punch the other side as well. And now I have a whole stack of the 12 calendar pages, or sorry, the background paper that is ready to go. Okay, instructions are on the sheet here that will tell you how to cut the template for cutting it out and having it go smoothly and easily. So let's walk through that. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And after you print your template onto your white cardstock, you're going to want to start by cutting 2 inches off the top. So I'm going to put that in to the paper cutter, line it up at 2 inches, and I'm going to slice that header right off. So this can just go right in the recycling bin. Now what we have left is 9 inches because our paper was 11 inches. So we cut 2 inches off. The remainder is 9 inches, and we're going to cut that in half at 4.5 inches. And again, this instruction is right here on the cover page of that template. So you don't have to take notes when you get the template at all the instructions will be right here. So cut that in half, and now you've got 2 pieces that you can die cut from. We're going to use, when I first designed this template, I was using the Stitch So Sweetly dies, which had a beautiful little stitching and scallop rectangle. And then after that, I was using the stitched rectangle dies. So if you have one of those, they will fit beautifully. If you're needing some new dies, then some good options are the new deckled rectangle dies. And these are item number 159173. Or you can use the countryside corner dies. Countryside corner dies. These are 161471. And so I used both of these. I used one on one calendar and one on another. So here is what the countryside corner die looks like. And here's what the deckled, let me flip back to the front. This is what the deckled rectangle die looks like. So it's slightly different look, but they both will fit the calendar template. And you might find that other dies that you have at home will fit as well. Let me give you an approximate measurement of this die. Now the countryside corner, you can tell, is a little bit smaller, so there's not as much like white space around. So this is the approximate size of the deckled rectangle die. It is 2.5 inches by 4 inches, but you might find that a slightly smaller die will fit as well. Just like I said, the countryside corners is a little smaller. So 2.5 by 4 is the approximate size that I am die cutting. But like I said, you can go smaller. All right, so here's my tip for die cutting. I'm going to use the deckled rectangle for this one. I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine, and I always start with the middle one because then I can kind of get even spacing on either side. So you can go higher, you can go lower, it's really just up to you and how much space you want from the top. I try to just kind of be consistent, and we'll hold up one that I've done already and kind of, see that looks about right. But they're only going to see 1 month at a time. So even if the month and year isn't exactly in the same location each time, it's okay. So start with that middle one, and you're just going to crank it through. Now, if you were making multiple sets, you could, if you wanted to, use 2 different dies. Like I could bring this one in here and die cut that at the same time. You can mix it up on your calendar. You can have some rectangles and some countryside corners. If it were me and I were making 2 different sets, I would just coordinate it so that I was cutting 2 sets at the same time. So maybe this one was cut with August and that one was with October. And when I make my complete set, I just make sure to rotate them for the second set so that when I'm all done, I have a complete set using each shape. Okay, I'm not going to die cut the whole year. You kind of get the picture. So you're going to die cut all the months. You've got 12 of them. This is a handy little task for a kid or grandkid. I've had my kids help me out with this before. And if you trust them with a die cutting machine, then they're going to do just fine. So I am going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals, and you can put one in each corner. You can do, I always like to do one in the middle when I do each corner so that I have kind of a nice spacing and no dipping in the middle. So dimensionals on all of them, and then you're just going to take them off and stick them on your card or on your designer paper. I'm so used to making cards. So this is going to go just kind of right in the center. And what I'm actually going to do, not right in the center because it's a little bit longer, I'm just going to try to evenly space around the bottom and the other edges. So maybe I'll go up just a smidge. But we do have like those rings that are going to come at the top. And so I don't want to go too close to the top because I want to kind of give that some space. So I'm just going to do dimensionals on all the backs of the calendars and put them on all the pages. And then I'm ready to put them right back on those rings and create the finished calendar. Oh my gosh, I love this project. It is just so much fun and so easy. And you can customize and give out calendars to your family and friends. I'm working on one that I'm going to send to Claire. Actually, I think I'm going to give it to her for Christmas so she can take it back with her in the new year to have on her desk in her dorm. I think she'll just love that. And I'm thinking that I might try to add those pictures on the back so that when it's on her desk, she can have the calendar side page. And when she doesn't need the calendar, she can turn it over and look at pictures of family and friends. There'll be a new picture then every month. Oh my gosh. Okay, if you want to get the template so that you can create your calendars at home, head over to my Etsy shop at etsy.com. Julie's Stamping Spot is the name of my shop. Or you can go directly to this listing at bit.ly/3R4T, capital R, capital O, X. That's the link for this template so you can download and print it and make your own calendars at home. I hope that you enjoyed these tips. I will share the link to Amazon where I got the frames and the loose leaf rings, so you can get those pieces that you need. I'll also add a link to this new designer paper. If you like that paper and want to give that pattern a whirl, it's called Delightful Floral, and it's available right now from Stampin' Up as an online exclusive part of the special release designer paper. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this little video and some tips. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed seeing this calendar. I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment. Let me know if you plan to make some calendars at home for your family and friends. And like I said, if you're a team member, watch for your email. You'll be getting a link to free access for this PDF as a team member. Just one of the perks of being on my Jubilant Stampers team. All right, guys, that's it for today. Have a fabulous day. I hope you get some stamping done, and I will see you tomorrow for Thursday night stamp therapy over on YouTube at 7:15 p.m. Central Time. See you then.